Veterans giving back after what no doubt was a tough time in their lives, some of them even still suffering from it. John Abbey and Tim Kearney are with us from the D.O.V.E. Fund to talk more about the effects of Agent Orange during the Vietnam War and how the D.O.V.E. Fund is trying to make a difference. First, let's talk about the D.O.V.E. Fund. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
The D.O.V.E. Fund began years ago, a lot of veterans from Vietnam that wanted to help Vietnam, and so you raise lots of money, go back and do some wonderful things for the Vietnamese kids, for people. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yes, in fact, it was 25 years ago this month that we started. We kind of met in Marcy Captor's office, and she kind of kick-started us, got a meeting with the ambassador to Vietnam, and then we started, and we said, you know, let's just start out small. If we can build one little school, build one little medical clinic. You know, we had a goal of 60,000, and the first year we surpassed that. Now it's over 6 million in over 56 schools and all kinds of other humanitarian things that we've done in Vietnam.
John, have you seen that as time gone on, because a lot of you are Vietnam veterans, that the closure helps your mental well-being so much, because that was a dark time in your lives, in their lives too, and you're understanding the humanity of the whole thing and going back in, like making right for what happened in the long past?
Well, I'll answer that in a perhaps a unique way. The Vietnamese people have long ago left the war behind as a concept and charged forward and making their lives better. But what is unfinished is those of us who were part of that decay, that assault on their country, and we came home and went back to regular life again, except it isn't really like that. The D.O.V.E. Fund has given me an opportunity over 20 years to really do things that are important to people in ways that are related to my experience, and that's been such a gift.
So, D.O.V.E. Fund, a legacy of love, hope, and healing, which is just a remarkable statement. So let's talk about what the plan is right now. So the Agent Orange is something Americans are familiar with, because we have a lot of soldiers who have cancer symptoms, defects from their children, things that going down the line. It was a toxin that was sprayed to eliminate jungle in a jungle country to give us some safety net. But we were exposed, our soldiers were exposed, the Mekong Delta out in the Gulf was exposed. And so this lingers on, we're dealing with it, but we don't think about the Vietnamese people. What have you seen?
John, I'll start out. We found there's an awful lot of birth defect children over there that have had a lot of problems, and just a lot of people that we can serve and help. And unfortunately, the government is really not set up to deal with them. And a lot of the medical facilities really are not doing a good job. So one of our trustees, Dan Gregg, has kind of taken it under his wing to let's really devote some time and attention to helping the results of Agent Orange in Vietnam.
The effects of Agent Orange are so profound and so irreversible that one can't help but be compelled to do something. Some of the pictures you're showing while we're talking, I notice are places I've been and people we've shared time with, and they're profoundly impacted with no resources. So we think by offering some support and help, we're just making a modest effort through setting up cancer screenings with their health system, testing sites for toxicity, putting in clean water wells, that sort of thing. So it's a small effort compared to the scale of the problem, but it's very important.
Would this have been more of a South Vietnam issue as opposed to North, because we were protecting ourselves with the dioxin, right?
Yeah, most of the dioxin was sprayed in the South, and a lot of it right over the Ho Chi Minh Trail, because that's where all the supplies were coming in to the South, and they wanted to kind of eliminate that foliage over there and try to be able to put cameras and sights on the enemy coming. And so it was more in a South area, or around most of the base camps over there.
Yeah.
The Veterans Administration will tell you now, if even if you went to Vietnam and got off the plane for a day and came back, you have been exposed.
Seriously?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's 1 foot on the ground. They consider that. One of the things about the use of Agent Orange there is it was rather indiscriminate, and 20 million gallons were sprayed over the country. And as a result, now people are living in the same places. They have no real public health support.
Support country.
Yeah, and the birth defects are profound. So this is a big problem.
In South Vietnam, Vietnam now,
Yeah,
I want to just mention that the country has been very receptive. It took some time, but they're very happy to have you come in and help. We've only got about 30 seconds. Sorry about that. But,
No,
but
no.
it just seems like Vietnam is embracing the help they're getting. They actually seem to love Americans now.
Well, they do. They really welcome all the work that we do in terms of scholarships and all the humanitarian projects that we have done over there. It's been amazing how we have been welcomed. They look forward to us coming and doing more.
There's information right there. If you want to learn more about the D.O.V.E. Fund, there's the P.O. Box number and also their website, dovefund.org. Check it out. John,
Thank you, Dan.
Tim, thank you so much for coming here. Very important. I'm just so happy people are able to do that and embrace what you're doing.
Thank you.
Wonderful things. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for your support, too.